All right, everybody. Welcome back to the PRPL Podcast. This is your host, Austin Isaac. Hope you're doing well out there today. Today is a Thursday, March 12th. It is actually my lovely fiance's birthday, so happy birthday, Dana. If you're listening to this, I know you're not. Love you anyways, babe. And guys, back the other co-hosts here, we got Mike and Griff Fletcher on here, so be sure to send something on over her way sometime today. There's your warning. You got no excuse. Now, how we doing today, fellas?
Hey, you're telling me Dana doesn't watch the podcast?
No, not that much.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Griff, you don't even watch it half the time, so
doesn't even know what she's missing.
Yeah, that's all right. But we got a good one today. The Podfather himself will send it his way in a second here, but first, I'll get on into our little welcome. The Sad Sacks are back, baby, with a brand new episode of the PRPL Podcast. This time reviewing Francis Ford Coppola's 1972 American epic gangster film, The Godfather, based on Mario Puzo's 1969 best-selling novel and starring Marlon Brando, alongside Al Pacino, James Caan, Robert Duvall, rest in peace. Join us as we discuss our favorite characters, scenes, themes, and things, and answer the eternal question, is this movie better with Nicolas Cage? Fellas, I've already asked how you're doing, but let's send it to the Podfather himself to give us a little bit about this movie and why he picked it and what it means to him.
Boys, bright and early this morning. Griff, appreciate you getting us up this early. The sun hadn't even come up. It's pitch black here at my place.
You can see it in my windows there.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Guys, this movie, I mean, I can't wait to hear. We haven't talked, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys thought. You know, my dog was named after Corleone. So, I mean, think about this. I mean, yeah, his name is Gustavo Corleone, Brigante Corleone. So, I mean, guys, I love this. I mean, it doesn't get any better than Marlon Brando. And especially, after we found out about Bob Duvall, I just thought it was fitting to fit this in. And, again, you get to see, we've watched a lot of Bob Duvall movies, and you get to just see just what this guy can do. I mean, he can be a badass. He can be a softie. He could be, he could be mean. He could be just cruel. He can do it all. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you all think about his role as Tom in this. I mean, great names, Salazzo, Clemenza, Luca Brasi. I mean, just these great names that Mo Green, you never forget Mo Green. I'm Mo Green, I mean, when he did that the other day, I went, oh, you're going to get something coming to you, buddy. Yeah. So, just love this one, guys. Again, I'm looking more forward to hearing what you guys thought of this, because I don't even know if you all seen this one before.
I had not seen it before, so when you mention all those names, bad on me, shame on me for not having seen it. It's too iconic to have not, but I did watch the first one, and I did part 2 in preparation for this. Didn't get around to 3. I understand that's one that people don't love as much, but we'll end up seeing that at some point. Actually, this one got me into, Dana and I started up The Sopranos again. Just kind of, we had started it and got through almost the whole first season, but somehow stalled off, but got back around to it. And you see the influences very clearly in the very first episode of The Sopranos. You have Bada Bing, which is a line said here. That's obviously their strip club. You have his little nephew, Chris, mentioned Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes in the first one. They talk about selling out screenplays to Hollywood. So these are all references in The Godfather. But like I was saying, I hadn't seen this one. So something like the names, I found myself constantly having to be like, okay, who the fuck was that? Who is this person? Who was that? They were saying just to figure out who the names were for everyone and how everything was aligning and all that. This reminded me a lot of like the Game of Thrones politicking in a lot of ways, because not very action filled. I think there's more, you look at something like Goodfellas that is a lot more of the shithousery and loud, boisterous. This one is very mellow for the most part, and melodramatic, you would say. it's a long haul, and there obviously is some pretty high up there stuff, the killings and things like that. But that's not the focal point. I think it's more so the family element and just all the conniving and politicking and business going on is more so the point in this one. So it felt a lot like Game of Thrones or like a House of Dragon, where there's a lot of politics involved. It's everyone trying to get the throne or, screw the next person over in some kind of way. Who's your friend? Who's your not? Allegiances. Those are all the things questioned in this. Griff, I'll let you kind of say a little something here before I get into the plot line, log line, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I haven't seen this movie for a few years, but watched it last night, and you're exactly right. I think what makes these mafia movies so great is kind of just there's this real grimness to them. There's this realization that, never goes away that, hey, all of these guys could be done the next day. It's very random, it seems. Well, maybe not random, but, even the top dogs, you might be getting a thing of oranges on the street corner, and then some guys come up behind you and start shooting at you.
It's business, not personal.
It's all business, and it's just it happens so quickly, and like it doesn't matter how much of a big dick you are. That guy's a police chief. He shoots him right in his forehead in a freaking little restaurant on
diner.
The corner. It's like
first, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter who the hell you are. You're done if they want you done, and it just shows you, like you said, there's all the politicking, and I think that whole bit where all of the mob bosses, all of the heads of the families are at that big table together, that kind of shows you a lot. And, even like how melodramatic it was when they give the big, they embrace after they have this agreement, and, they're shaking hands, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is just, it's really something. But yeah, the way they're just killing each other left and right, there's a freaking gang war going on. It's like, I don't know. It's just a lot of different tones.
Sure. All right. Well, let's do a little bit of this here. Our plot line, log line. This movie comes out March 24th of 1972. We'll hear a little bit of Mike's moment in time here in a little bit. But here we go. The aging patriarch of a powerful crime family transfers control of its empire to his reluctant son, drawing him deeper into the ruthless world of loyalty, betrayal, and violence. As we mentioned, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Screenplay was by both Francis Ford Coppola and Mario Puzo, who wrote the book. So he wrote the book.
He wrote the book.
Starring Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, James Caan, Robert Duvall. Performance and reception here, $6 to $7 million budget. This movie amasses $250 to $291 million, making it at its time the highest grossing film ever.
Wow.
So this could be considered Mike's Avatar in a way, let's say that, for quite a bit. But yeah, that is the return on that is in the thousands, just about, not really the thousands, but really damn good return there. No, you'd be pretty happy about that one, and sets Francis Ford Coppola up for life, I would say. I don't think anyone expected that going into that. If you kind of walk through the production and what it took to get this thing made, and that's a pretty low budget. It is the 70s, but seeing a number like $6-7 million for a budget is ridiculous, especially when you got a name like Marlon Brando. Some of the other guys weren't established yet, but Marlon Brando sure was. Yeah. He was already an icon at that point. In terms of ratings, IMDb, this is a 9.2. Rotten Tomatoes, 97%. Letterboxd is a 4.5 out of 5. Consistently rates on one of the best films of all time list. You always see it on those. I think the American Film Institute, whenever they ran it, they do it periodically. It was the second best film of all time at some point along the line. So this one is highly acclaimed. For Oscars, it gets 8 nominations, 3 wins. The wins are for Marlon Brando as lead actor, which is an interesting thing to consider, when looking at it, him being considered the lead actor when really he's in the least amount of scenes of all the supporting actors that get nominated, being James Caan, Robert Duvall, and Al Pacino all get nominated for supporting actor. They don't win it, but they are nominated. It wins for writing, so Francis Ford Coppola and Mario Puzo get Oscars there, and then it wins Best Picture. So Albert S. Ruddy, who was the producer. Funny thing about that, I don't know how much research you guys put into this, but Albert Ruddy had his windows shot out and a note left in his car by the mob because he was making the movie. They didn't want it made. But he actually ended up meeting with Joseph Colombo, who was a big name, and sorted it all out, got it ready to put, and they really liked his presentation of it. There were some things that they requested. That's why you don't ever hear explicitly like mafia mentioned. I think it's mentioned maybe one time in this movie. It might not even be said in this one.
I don't even think it's ever said.
And then in the second one, they say it in like a court scene when they're, speaking to the court, like a so-called mafia, so they're very deliberate in not using that word ever, it's kind of interesting how that stuff played in. Al Martino, who plays the, I guess the singer in this, he had a whole kind of situation where like Frank Sinatra barred him from Vegas for taking the role. And he actually, they were going to give the role to someone else, but he got a godfather of his who was in crime, same kind of family. He got him involved to keep the role. So it's funny how some of these things even were going on outside the scenes or outside the, the movie, and how that all went into it here. But, one more thing to mention about 1972 here, and I'll let Mike get his moment in time, and then I'll hop back on over to the things I liked and things I didn't like. We'll do our little reviews and all that. But my Miami Dolphins, there's not a lot of things I can bring up about them in a positive light, aside from, I guess we just got rid of Tua Tagovailoa and got our new franchise quarterback in Malik Willis. So that's going to make for a more exciting year for me. But in 1972, the Miami Dolphins have the only undefeated season in NFL history still to this day, winning the Super Bowl. So had to get that one in there, knowing the year. Mikey, how was 1972, fella?
1972, guys. Just so you know, I was only 7 years old, but, as a little kid, I remember my dad, and my grandma talking about this movie, how excited they were to see it. Austin talked about Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, he became a god after this. He could do nothing wrong. You talk about the money that was generated from this movie. I mean, he could do nothing wrong, guys. Anything. They wanted him to do every movie coming out. So he was kind of the man after this. Again, you talk about the, how many millions that it took to get these. I think about that. That wouldn't cover one actor of this quality. I mean, the list goes on. You've already named the names from James Caan to, Marlon Brando. We got Talia Shire in this. I mean, it just goes on and on. Al Pacino was a young man. Austin, you're talking about scenes. The scene where he's talking with his broken jaw and they did not like it. They being everyone but Francis Ford Coppola and Al Pacino. At one point, Al Pacino was afraid he was going to be fired and taken out because they did not care for the way he was doing the scene. He thought it was cool. Francis Ford Coppola thought it was cool. I can't wait to hear what you guys thought. I thought it kind of made the movie, to be honest with you. Him sitting there and you're going, oh my God, this young man is talking with his wired jaw, his jaw wired. I thought it kind of made the movie myself, but Austin, we'll get into it. Are you going to do your rating first and then we go on, or do you want me to give you a rating right now?
Yeah, if you want to do your little rating right now, that's fine. If you want,
I want to do it right now.
All right, go for
guys.
It. Lead us
off. Little details that I thought were amazing. Again, I talked last week about that the movie seemed dated. This never seemed dated to me. I mean, never, ever seemed dated to me. It's the little details. It's the score. Oh my God, that score is it's phenomenal. It just kind of raises the hair up on your neck as they play it. The clothes. Oh my God. Those clothes, the hats the men wore were just Man, they look so damn cool. Double-breasted. Love that. The cars. I love the cars. The dancing. When you see Marlon Brando dance with his daughter, oh my God. That was just, I loved it. A young Al Pacino. Al Pacino's only 32 years old. Diane Keaton's 26 years old. Again, I'll talk about Bob Duvall, just how spectacular he was. Mm-hmm. Mike, get on with it. This is a 5 out of 5. If there's a 6 out of 5, this is it to me. I don't think you can get any better than this movie. I mean, we talk about class. We talk about, staying power. This has got it. This movie's got it. I was telling Griffin lines from part 2, Griffin. By the way, that was part 2 where we were talking about Harry Reid. That was part 2. So sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, and I know you were probably like, what was Dad talking about? It's part 2, buddy.
That's funny. Yep. Nice. Hey, well, let me take over.
Yeah, hop on in there, G.
Yeah, I think for me, I would have to give this movie a 5 as well because of its cultural significance. And like you said, Dad, it really doesn't seem dated at all. The only thing that's dating it is that you don't have phones or modern technology. The attitudes, the ideas, the way things happen all seem very plausible. And this is a movie set in like 46, isn't it? Yes. It's set in the past. But no, I think that the real hallmark of a great movie to me is when you don't question anything happening. And I really didn't question almost anything. I think the only moment I had where it's like, was when Sonny starts whooping Carlo's ass out in the street. And you can tell that he's not hitting him in the face.
Right.
Like there's at least one punch where he just totally hits air. And it's like, shit. I wish that didn't happen. Because aside from that moment, everything else was so on. And even that was still on. You have the damn fire hydrant just blown up and everything. And it's still pretty badass. But that was the only moment to me where I was like, I wish they did that a little better. But everything else was very solid. And, you believe everything happening too. So, just a pretty awesome story and really well told and incredibly well acted. So 5 out of 5 for me.
Well, all right. Here I am, fellas. We'll do my things I like. The Michael descent into the crime gang is, that's the massive part. That is the whole point of this series, I'd say, is that there was this guy they're very deliberate in showing him being this uncorrupted figure by a very corrupted family by crime. And his descent into that, he's the straight and narrow, and seeing how he's called into that world is, the saddest part, and I think that's the most meaningful message from it. The performances, of course, you cannot deny those in any kinds of way. You get the best actor win, you get 3 nominated supporting actors in it, and everyone around is great as well. A huge one is just how Italian this movie is and feels. It's very authentic seeming, not being an Italian, but I think it got a lot of kudos and people love that. It depicted it pretty damn well. And like you said, Mike, the score with that is just great. Funny part about that is actually Francis Ford Coppola's dad was involved with making the score, Carmine Coppola. Let me get that on out there. Love the politicking, the underworld, the business strategy. That's always the fun bit about the organized crime world, seeing how everything's connected and, the games you play, the scheming and everything underneath that is always very interesting. And then just how iconic this thing is, how original this thing is, and what it did and inspired for the genre. I think I think Martin Scorsese's always going to make movies, but they're not going to be what they are without this existing first, right? This one has a lot of influence on that. The Sopranos, even the Mafia video games, I think were very inspired by this and how it goes about things. And I'm going to have to get a little playthrough of those, at least the first 2 again, with that, just kind of where I'm at right now. Things I don't like. All right, here we go. Don't crack me too damn hard. This is a very good movie. Very, very good movie. But it's interesting to consider what you've seen since and what it did to evolve the genre as well. And I think this one, I'm very hesitant to say anything as overrated it's not overrated because it is so iconic, but I think it does in ways show its age. This movie is very lengthy, and I did find myself by the end of it being like, okay, guys, let's get on with it here. It was getting a little lethargic in ways, and it was always decent stuff, but it's like, okay, some of this didn't seem so necessary maybe. I get the descent and I get the epic side of things, but it is like there's a whole bit in Family Guy where Peter Griffin's like, The Godfather, it insists upon itself. So it's like, it's very much that, and it could present as pretentious. I don't see it that way. I think it's just a product of its time, and it was the first thing. So this movie isn't cliche. It's just that you've seen all the movies that have, in other forms of media, that have taken what it did and evolved it or kind of used it in certain ways. So I think that's kind of interesting to consider in terms of the order of how you saw it. I really like this movie. It's a very good movie. I don't love this movie. And that's not like that it's a bad movie. It's a great movie. I just think I would give it a 4.0 out of 5. Still a very good score, but, I'm not head over heels about it. Goodfellas is one that I would put at 4.5. I would put Goodfellas above it. I think that's a more fun story and maybe how that's told. This one's a little more grandiose and epic and melodramatic. And like I said, I think it does kind of tail off. And I had the same issues with part 2 as well, in that it's like, okay, I get that you're showing us stuff, but at some point it's like kind of, get on with the story. Maybe cut some stuff.
How do you feel about that, Dad?
And my last thing here is no justice for Apollonia. I think they just really fucking brush over her and never mention her again.
If there's anything that's a little weird to me, it's how she is killed off, and then he goes back to Kay, and it's like,
and no mention of her to Kay either. Did she even know that even happened?
Hell no,
exactly.
Hell no. But also, like, I think there's like a big concept to just the women are totally, they're second class citizens here, and you know that. She's hysterical. And all the stuff about just they're at the dinner table, and I don't know, they're just saying whatever the hell they want. Sonny is, and his sister starts interrupting or whatever, and the brother in front of the whole family, shut up. It's he does. Old Sonny gets on his ass, but it's still just, they're second class citizens, and you're exactly right. I think a big theme and a big kind of symbol is that throughout the movie, you're getting to see Michael be very honest with Kay, even when it's a bit depraved, saying, hey, my dad had a gun held to this dude's head and, said, hey, your brains are either going on this paper or your signature. He's very honest with her, and then at the very end, we see he does lie to her, and the full transition's complete. And, some of the beautiful symbolism throughout the movie of him even accepting the Godfather role, him kissing his dad's hand in the hospital, him actually accepting the role of Godfather to his nephew after his dad dies, so he can fully embrace that role. Beautiful stuff, but yeah, I do agree with you, Austin. I think if there's any kind of low point, it's just that Apollonia getting blasted in the car, and then that's it,
That's it, yep. Nothing else.
What do you think, Pops?
Guys, different time. Men were men, and I saw it as when I was a kid, so I can't imagine how it would be in the 40s. Let's face it. Look at Vito's kids. Look what he had. He had Fredo. He had Santino. He had Connie. He had Michael. Michael was his prize. He did not want Michael to go into, the business. He wanted Michael to finally bring in something legit to the name. So you can kind of see how he was shielding Michael from it, the disappointment. You talk about that, Michael being brought in. He knew Michael could do it, but he didn't want him to. He thought Santino was going to be that guy.
I didn't want this life for you.
Yeah. Well, if we're going to do this, let's get into our scenes.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Let's send it your way for your favorite scene.
Thank God. Thank God.
Santino. I thought Santino was a bad Don. I love the roles too. The roles are so cool. It's like you got the Don, the consigliere. It's pretty cool.
Guys, let's start with the best scene. There's 3 scenes, and then I'm going to let you guys have some because I want to
finish.
I want to steal them all. Actually, I've got 4, guys.
All right,
I love the scene where Johnny wants to get back on top of the movie rope. And Marlon Brando grabs. He goes, act like a man, and he shakes him, and he's like, you little so-and-so. Brando's an absolute beast in that morning, and he's got that jaw, act like a man, and he says, how are you going to do it? And he goes, I'm going to make him an offer that he can't refuse.
Yeah. Love that line.
Tom, go to see Jack in Hollywood. And then we know what happens to Jack.
Oh yeah,
that whole intro is really great. Just establishing the dynamic of who he is and his emotions at this family wedding, which is a very Italian thing. That big ass cake, the music they're singing. That is a very tone-setting scene, and he's just there, fucking having to deal and do business, and he's. Send that guy, do that.
And it's there's a big line, and I don't know if you guys heard it, but on his daughter's wedding, it would be it'd be a sin to refuse somebody. So that's why everybody was outside practicing. Luca Brasi was practicing what he wanted to say. He wanted to get in to see The Godfather.
And apparently that actor, which is a fun bit of it, was very nervous to act alongside Marlon Brando. So his nervousness was written into the scene, and they actually added him practicing his speech before. They added that scene in to kind of coincide with him, nervously asking him. Yeah. Luca Brasi, there's no justice for that cat either. He's the capo, but we don't even see him really get to knock anybody off. He just gets got.
Yeah. Wait till Luca Brasi finds out. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. It's great. Yeah. How about this scene? Speaking of Luca Brasi, scene where Luca Brasi goes to see Salazzo and then ends up nailing his hand to the bar. They end up nailing his hand to the bar, and then they start choking him out. And golly, that is believable. He's like, you know who he looked like? He looked like what's Star Wars? The big heavy guy,
Jabba the Hutt. How the hell do you not know that?
It's 7:00 in the morning. You asshole. My God, that was brutal, guys. And then the next scene, we see Salazzo with Tom. Then the Godfather gets shot down. This is our first taste of just how soft Fredo is. You see Fredo, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he's just sitting there. Fredo. I want to punch him right in his socko. Michael takes the meeting with Salazzo.
Yeah.
And the police chief. I think the police chief was named McCluskey.
Yeah.
I love that name. He gets up and he goes to the bathroom. And he's looking behind the slide in the bathroom. And you could just see the fear on his face, like, oh my God, it's not there. He walks out and he sits down, and his eyes are just going back and forth, just the tension, the way they brought that tension. It was just
they
beautiful.
Get a train kind of playing in the background, and it's almost like it's humming through his head.
It's just, oh my God, it's just great. You feel that. You feel his tension, and then all of a sudden, they're kind of looking at him like, what's wrong with you, dude? And he stands up. King, he shoots Salazzo right in the head. He shoots McCluskey in the chest, and then he double tapped him. King gets him right in the head. And then you see he did exactly what Clemenza told him to do is, make sure everybody sees you. You walk out, and he just he just kind of dropped the gun.
So what I'm going to say is I actually think what's really effective about the scene is he doesn't follow the rules.
Yeah, he kind of screws it up a little bit.
Well, because, the first thing he's supposed to do it as soon as he comes out of the bathroom, pop, gun. He's supposed to double tap them both in the head, no screwing around, make sure they're dead. He's supposed to drop the gun right away. He almost walks out of the store with it, and he kind of lingers a little too long. He's like, they're going to see you. So get moving. Don't run. And he kind of stands and lingers a little too long and then doesn't drop the gun immediately. So I was thinking that that's really effective because, I mean, you know how that shit goes when you get into the thick of it. All the fucking noise goes out the window, man, and you just do it. It's like playing sports. So that's why you practice because
muscle memory.
Exactly. So I thought that's what made it so effective is that actually in that heat of the moment, he forgot some of the steps that he should have taken or was supposed to have taken.
It looked very realistic, and it wasn't like he was just some badass doing it. You could tell he was like scared to fucking death, which I think makes it well. And it's cool too because it is very realistic. And even though these guys are like these big dicks, he's with Sollozzo, McCluskey. It's like if someone pulls a gun out on you and you have 1 second to react, you're like, what? And they're just done. You know what I mean? It's just
and of all people,
happens.
They never thought in a million years this wimpy guy that just got his jaw completely busted would ever do this, and he did. Mm-hmm. And I mean, even his movements, he looked a little wormy when he went out.
Did you see him running in that one scene? He kind of looked at.
Austin always talks about how they run. Well, let's face it, Al Pacino's not much of a runner.
He's also 5'6". It almost kept him.
Yeah, he's. He could be one of the hobbits.
He's barely taller than the cars he stands next to. Like in their little sedans. Like he looks little if you really pay attention.
He's a little dude.
Oh yeah,
he's a little dude.
Did you have another scene, Brad?
I've got one more that if I don't get this in. No.
Let's hear it.
This is just a line. This is just a line that I love.
Give it to us.
Look what a mess they made of my boy. Look what a mess they made of my boy. There's that. I mean, if that doesn't tear you up, and he's looking at the Undertaker like, dude, do everything in your power to make him so his mama can see him. That was awesome. And guys, Austin talked about things that weren't real believable or, could have been done better. Yeah. I mean, when you're shot with a Tommy gun, 1,000 times, you're not going to look as good as he looked. I mean, that was brutal. Yeah. That was absolutely. Did you all see the brass that was on the ground after that? It's just, God, the first time I saw that, I just remember, I was just a young man, and I just remember going, oh my God. I mean, you hadn't seen, shooting scenes like nowadays. That doesn't even faze you. Back then, when you hear that, bop, 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 and they're just, it was horrifying.
It was dramatic for sure.
Well, I think the hit that Michael put on was probably the most just like gruesome look because it was just you're looking him straight in the face and you see that bullet hole just throat and then forehead that guy, and he's still kind of brutal. I don't know if I need to be laughing at it, but yeah, it's rough.
Got him.
Well, Griff, give us some.
Well, I think you guys are right. The beginning scene is fantastic. We got to give a good old Amy shout out. She made a great point. She said, the juxtaposition between seeing this big, lively, exciting, bright wedding and then getting to see the Godfather in his room. It's dark. It's slow. Everything's very serious. And the whole movie, he's just talking about, I love my family. I want to be with my family. And, meanwhile, at this huge, amazing event, he's in there doing business. Kind of reminds me of the whole, like, every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. It's just like there's nothing he can do, and he's the damn Don, and he's still doing shit he doesn't want to do. But one of my favorite scenes actually is when he and Michael are having that conversation in the garden toward the end of the movie. I thought it was just really great because, Marlon Brando, he is a mega star. He has such a presence. We saw that with Superman as well. Mm-hmm. Such a presence. And, when he's just speaking with Michael, and it almost even seems like he's not all the way there, but he's still like, it's a habit. I'm sorry. It's kind of amazing just what's going on with that guy and how you see the trust he builds with Michael after Michael's in the hospital to protect him. And, it's so obvious that he's that dude. With Santino, he's a hothead. The guy can't get anything done. He was a bad Don. Fredo's a little bitch.
Yeah.
Let's just cut it out,
He's cucked to hell.
Oh, he sucks. So Michael's the guy, but I love how he's talking to Michael too, and he says, "Hey, what they're gonna do is they're gonna say there's a meeting with is it Brazzini?
Yeah. Brazzini.
Yeah, they're gonna say there's a meeting with Brazzini. It's gonna be
he walks him right through.
Yeah, he said it's gonna be someone you think you can trust completely. They're gonna say it's on their terms, and that guy's a traitor. You should know that. They're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Like he says, and
they're gonna assassinate you.
And at that meeting, you will be assassinated.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's walking away.
Savvy,
he says,
you know,
yeah, and he walks away and he goes, "Make no mistake," he said, "the person who comes to you is a traitor." And then, of course, you see Tessio, and it's written on the wall, and it's you know, he and I can't remember his name now. Robert Duvall's character, Tom
Hagen.
Yeah, he's sitting by Tom, and Tom goes, "I always thought it'd be Clemenza," you know, and they both know it's. I thought that was great. And, but another great scene I already mentioned that is when you have all the mob bosses at the table together. And, you know, you guys know me. I'm a respectable man, you know, and I enjoyed all of that stuff going on and how you see all the politics there, like you said, Austin.
Well, I like the weight of what comes from that situation. This is one of my favorite scenes as well, and that he's like, I knew then and there that it was Brazzini all along.
Yeah. Good one, Austin.
I like that too. Yeah, he said, I knew it was Brazzini.
I didn't know till today.
Yeah, I didn't know
that it was Brazzini today. All along.
Or Barzini.
Yeah, and I love that though. But I thought that was a great scene.
Oh, Brazzini.
I mean, I think some of the other amazing scenes are just. I really like Tom, actually.
Me too.
I think that Tom is a great character. I think he's one of the best for certain. Yes. I'm probably gonna miss something. Let's just say I'll give it to Tom. I like the whole scene of Tom with Waltz, where, you know, they walk through the day. He gets to see Waltz at the studio.
Yes, sir.
You know, and he's kind of meeting the guy. The guy invites him back to his house. And next thing you know, he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were involved with Corleone. Like, hey, you're a friend of mine." It's this extravagant place. They're drinking wine, having fun. Wine. Yeah, there's a lot of wine in this movie.
Yeah,
a lot
drinking out just like little, you know, almost whiskey glasses.
Yeah, it was strange. I bet that was some what was the brand bruschetta, or what was the thing you did? Cheddar Lambrusco?
Cheddar Lambrusco.
That was some Cheddar Lambrusco. Yeah. Well, I was going to say Manischewitz, but I was like, I bet it wasn't Manischewitz.
Well, they got their drinking wine, you know, even that they pour into their cooking, you know, the meatballs.
Oh, yeah. That's another.
What about Clemenza?
Well, that goes right in Goodfellas, right? The tomato sauce, like that.
Yes. They talk about the food. Yep.
Lo and behold, though, the guy's at the table. He says, "Hey, that prick, that singer, he screwed me over. He had this chick, you know, that I was banging, went off with him, made me look like a fool. There's no way he's getting that role. Screw him." And then Tom just stands up and says, "All right, I'll see you, bruh." The Don demands bad news immediately. He demands to know. Just gets out of there. And, of course, then you end up with the freaking horse head in the dude's bed. You know, and I think that's just kind of shocking. And obviously that's etched into the cinematic consciousness at that point is an amazing, fantastic scene. But I'll give it to the whole build up too. I just thought it was pretty awesome. It is constantly detailed to you that you do not fuck with these people, or they will wreak havoc. They will kill you. They'll kill people you love. It does not matter. It is business.
Yep. My scenes, guys.
Take it home, Austin.
All right. Well, I can't believe this one slept. Never got around to it, guys. Come on. The baptism, when he takes out everybody. I mean, that's the biggest moment of the whole entire movie. He becomes the Don in that scene. He takes over the town. He knocks everyone off who would have been coming at him. And, just the plotting, the scheming, the conniving. He goes to that baptism and you see it all taking place. Everyone that fucked with him is getting hit, getting taken out. And at the end, too, you think Carlo might make it out unscathed, right? Because he's, Connie's husband. It's like, how are they going to let this motherfucker live, right? I had no clue how. I was like, how are they going to let that asshole live after all he's done to her sister, who is Francis Ford Coppola's sister, actually, the actress that plays Connie. It was like, how is he going to make it out? He doesn't, of course. And then Connie's hysterical. And then you have that great scene where the transformation is complete. Tell me the truth, Tell me the truth, Michael.
I'll let you ask this one time.
I'll let you ask about business one time. He plays her like a fiddle right in that moment. And then you see everyone kissing his hand as the door is shut. So I think that's probably that's the best scene of the entire movie, perhaps.
That's fair.
Another really great one. I love the whole Sicily sequence. I do love him getting with Apollonia and her father. That whole situation where they're outside the diner and how he courts her. I really like that stuff.
That's really nice.
I think the music's probably the best and fits the best in that moment too. Just really feeling very Italian. That's one of my favorite things about this movie is the whole Italian influence and how that works. But another couple just little small ones here. I love the Peter Clemenza kind of walk up and talk up about the situation before he knocks off both Sollozzo and the police chief. I really like that the talk with him. I love Peter Clemenza as a character. He's
great.
One of the best. He absolutely kicks ass.
Yeah. Clemenza's great in it.
Yeah, one of his best lines. They knock off Polly. Leave the gun. Take the cannolis.
Yeah, leave the gun.
He takes the
gun.
Yes,
sir.
That boy, he's got to eat, man. He likes
Hey, how's Polly doing? Won't see him no more.
Won't see him no more. Yeah, the tomato sauce, the meatballs.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Moves right along. So.
I love that, too. I thought that was a great scene. Yeah, you start with the oil, you get some garlic in there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah, that guy absolutely rocks. So I'd say those are the best in my opinion here. So let's move on now into our favorite characters.
Take it, Pops.
Knock it, Mike.
Guys, I had two, but I'm gonna take it since this was mine. Marlon Brando was my guy. Just guys, we know Vito Corleone. Just oh my God, he's just like Austin pointed out. He's not. I wanted him in the movie more. I wanted to just he again, guys, like Goodfellas, Paulie in Goodfellas. They say how slow he moves. He doesn't say much. He does. You know why? And they say this in Goodfellas because he doesn't have to. He's that guy, and Vito Corleone is that guy. But when he says something, watch out. Again, the line is, this is business, not personal. And you hear Tom, saying, hey. The Don wants to hear bad news as soon as possible. I mean, this guy, he means business and he does. But there's something, Austin, and I can't believe you didn't say this because I thought of you as soon as he said it. I stopped the movie and I had to write it down. Vito is sitting outside with Michael. And they're talking, and he's getting ready to lay out the plan, or maybe he's already laid out the plan of what, who's going to come after him, when and where. And he's drinking wine, and he says, I like drinking wine more than I used to. It's just, to me, again, Austin, you made a good point, but I kind of disagree with you in that you're like, it was long. Who gives a shit? It's so cool. You want to see these guys.
I don't mind a long movie. I mean, we watched The Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I just think that, when it is so deliberate and dramatic.
It does. And I think Francis Ford Coppola, it's kind of his way of saying, hey, I'm great and I'm going to keep this thing rolling. And oh my God, it's to me, I wanted more. The scene where they're
on the Godfather Part 2, you get 3 hours and 22 minutes more, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to. So absolutely, I loved Vito Corleone, and I don't want to steal your all's other because I know where you all are going to go. Sad sack.
Well, where's your sixth man?
Oh, sixth man. I'm sorry. How about Enzo the baker?
Nice
he does step up to the plate.
Nice
I loved Enzo the baker for helping out Michael. I mean, gosh damn, I loved him. He was so cool. His voice, you could just see he was just there. He wanted just to pay the respects to, the Don. And next thing you know, Michael's like, hey, I need you, dude. You just got to stand here with your hand in your jacket and look tough, stand up straight. And the guy is so.
I hope Michael paid for his dry cleaning after that.
Oh, God, he pissed himself. He did. And his hand was shaking so much. He's trying to light the cigarette, and he can't even light the cigarette. Oh,
yeah.
Well done, Enzo.
Yeah, good job, man. You did well. You did good.
Well done, Enzo. 6-man.
Nice call.
You
just said 6-man, you dumb dick.
Easy, Niagara.
Oh, God. Hey, the sun is. Oh, shut up. Hey, how about sad sack of the movie? Look at him. What a prick. You little prick. Hey,
let's knock him off.
Yeah. Hey, it's just business. Keep running your mouth. Sad sack of the movie is Jack Waltz. He woke up with a horse head in his bed. After he called him, you guinea this and that. I'm like, oh my God, dude. You just, oh my God.
It was a real horse head too.
Really?
Well, it was already going to be killed for like dog food or some shit. Is what it
shit,
but it was,
70s were a little different.
Yeah,
70s were a little different, guys.
That.
But I'm telling you what,
wow.
I said the same thing. I said, man, that looks so real. And
it had like the blue eye.
My question to everyone about that is how the hell do you get that horse head in there while he's sleeping? I mean, they had to have drugged him.
Covered in blood, too. Yeah,
they had to have drugged him. I think they needled him up, drugged him, put that horse head in, and then, he wakes up the next morning, and there it is. I mean, they had to. But, man, it was just, again, you all know that. I mean, you all probably knew it was coming. When you do not know that was coming, it was coming. Oh, gosh, it's intense. Austin, did it shock you? You're like, oh my God.
I didn't know what happened. It's like, is he bleeding out? Is he going to find someone dead next to him? And then it's his horse's head. So it's like, they fucked with
man.
him.
It leaves an everlasting. It's one that everybody, they talk about sleep with, and then they're like a horse in your bed, That's just tough.
I think it's more just the principle of like someone could have taken you. They were right in there with you, bud. You could have been cooked. So in a way, they spared you.
Yeah, but they how many hundreds of thousands of dollars was that horse? I mean, they got him, didn't they?
600,000.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Bet none of what did he say? I bet none of the it wasn't the ancient Egyptians, but he said the ancient Egyptians. He said, I bet they never paid that much for a horse, which whatever it was, but I'll take over. I'll tell you what, guys, I think my favorite character, you could say Michael, you could say Vito all day.
There we go.
Easy
do it, boy.
Choices. I'm taking Tom. I think Tom's the guy, consigliere. I think he does a great job. I love seeing the way that he handles his business. I love the way that he gives advice. He's super savvy. He's a lawyer. He's the guy, and I mean, he's not even technically he's not even Italian. He's not even Sicilian, but he handles his deal. Dad, do you know any more backstory behind why he was not allowed to be part of the next venture going into Vegas? Why he wasn't allowed to be as involved?
Griffin, I think the assumption was he wants his hands clean of all of that. He didn't, he was kind of the money behind everything, and they didn't want him to know anything that happened. Plus, I really feel like they knew what was next. Mo Green was going to bite the dust. Mo Green slapping around his brother. I'm Mo Green.
He gets cheeked like what's his name in The Last of Us. They cheek his, or no, they put it through his eye. There's a cheek
through his eye.
There's a cheek shot in the next one.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what that
Jesse
was.
got cheek shotted.
Yeah, that's who.
That
Jesse.
sucked. That sucked. But no, I think Tom's great. He's just a BA, and even Vito's like, hey, it's nothing personal. I thought you were a good consigliere. Thought Santino was a bad Don. That was the big part. But yeah, no, I thought that was really good. But he's like, it's nothing personal, and it doesn't reflect on Tom, but he's not part of it. So I like Tom a lot. I just thought throughout the movie he was a great character. Yeah. In terms of six man, I picked Clemenza. I think Clemenza had a great role in the movie. I thought he was awesome. I loved the spaghetti sauce scene. Mm-hmm. I loved him running through how to actually perform the hit on Sollozzo and McCluskey.
Funny,
great
useful, perfect six man.
Oh, for sure. He's drinking wine at the beginning, and it reminded me of
wine and drinks out of a fucking kitchen.
It reminded me of Ray Liotta. Dad, it reminded me of Ray Liotta when the guy goes, "You look great on the floor." He said, "What are you, a fucking dance critic?" Shut up, man. It just reminded, or not. It would have been our one boy, Funny How.
Yeah. That would have been Tommy. That would have been Tommy.
So, I thought that was great stuff. But little shout out. I was talking with Amy after the movie. She actually said, my six man's the damn horse head cartoon, which I thought was hilarious, man. I loved that. But then for Sad Sack, it's Fredo, guys. Come on. That little bitch fumbles his gun when his dad gets shot at the fruit stand. Yeah. Mo Green's apparently slapping him around in public, and that dumb dick's going, "Oh, it's fine. We're buddies. We're buddies." And
don't you ever go against the family again.
Oh, that's awesome. And that was just like, again, you could compare that really directly to when Santino pipes up in the Sollozzo meeting, and Vito looks at him like, "What are you doing? What's gotten into you?" That was awesome.
You never tell anybody outside of the family.
I saw
what you're thinking.
I saw an influence of that in I think it was just the second episode of The Sopranos when they start dealing with the the Jews with the curly sideburns, whatever the hell they're called. What are they called? What are those kinds of Jews called? There's those ones.
You're not Yiddish. Yeah, is that Yiddish?
Yeah, sure. Fine.
But it might be Yiddish.
And the son starts talking out next to his father, and he speaks to him in Hebrew, like, don't ever present without a united front.
There's a lot I think that they take from The Godfather and Sopranos, guys.
Situations like that.
Yeah. That was great though, but Fredo, man, and then he needs to shave that wig too. He looks like a dumb dick at the end when he's in Vegas. His hair's on the back of his head. That's what his hairline.
Poor old Fredo.
Yeah, and he just looks like such an idiot. But he's the biggest sad sack of the movie for sure. Fredo, I love you. You're my big brother. But never, ever take another person's side aside from the family's.
Yeah. Go against the family.
He's the nutsack. Last little bit I'll say is I loved how they speak in Italian a lot in the movie. I thought that was really cool. Didn't even get subtitles when he and Sollozzo were having the big conversation in the diner. And it just made it feel very real to me. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that a lot.
No doubt. My characters, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because they've already all been taken. There's plenty of options.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, that's fine. We can double up on these. But my favorite character is Vito Corleone. It was tough.
Vito!
That's a tough one because you got a lot of good ones in there. Really liked Michael. Really liked Tom Hagen. Tom Hagen's probably my second favorite.
Tom's
great. He kicks ass. Six man, Peter Clemenza. Take the cannolis. He absolutely rocked. And then my sad sack, by and far, is Fredo. That guy is an absolute sack. If you want to know how much of a sack he is, go ahead and just watch part 2, and you're going to see it again. So,
sir.
He is one hell of a sack.
What a sack.
Just a complete sack, man. He's older than Michael. The saddest tale in the story. This asshole gets, superseded because he's just such an absolute bum. They'd have Connie as a Don before fucking Fredo. I mean, that guy sucked ass.
Yeah, no chance.
What an asshat. Themes and things. Themes and things. Mikey, give us something.
Austin, I'm just going to give you a couple, and then I'll let you take over. How about silk purse with lots of money? And then I love the scene. Is it Paulie that says it?
Yeah.
He says, "Oh my God, look at all that money. Oh, this would be the place to
30,000
Yeah, in a silk purse. Oh gosh. How about of course you see the FBI outside of the wedding, and you're like, "Oh my God." And Sonny Santino shows his ass and goes out there and starts slamming cameras down and yelling at the FBI, then spitting on them, and just shows.
Where's the themes and things here, bruh?
He's no class. Shut up. How about?
We got to keep this old man on task. Start babbling and drooling on himself.
Theme: wedding cake of all wedding cake. Gosh damn it! I mean,
you didn't mean to take over, bruh.
Yeah, just do it. I mean, you might as well.
What do you got? Finish it out.
I'm done. Actually, I am done. I'm done. I had 3 of them.
What a sack, man. Hey,
I mean, we're all going to talk about
Mike
death.
Fredo.
We're going to talk about family, and yeah.
Hey, The Godfather. I mean, that's an amazing theme and thing. Italy, Sicily, wine, so much wine, car hits. I mean, if you notice, a lot of these dudes get killed right in the car, man. Paulie, Carlo, that I thought was kind of fun.
Well, did you guys learn anything? Never sit in the front seat.
Never sit in the front seat.
I think Paulie was trying to take some precautions. He's like, don't sit in the back left. See how the rear view.
Yeah.
He still got his ass.
Still got capped.
Got him. Yeah.
He does that fake ass cough. I'm feeling all right, guys.
Yeah. But now I think the big theme for me is just family, the families. That's the whole thing. That's what everything revolves around is, hey, this is the family. No man can be a man if he doesn't spend time with his family. I just thought that was fantastic. Even though these guys are literally in the underworld, crimes out the wazoo, doing heinous things at the drop of a dime, still it's like, hey, spend time with your family. That's what really matters. And I think we get some real beauty when we see Vito. That's how he passes. He passes in the field with his little grandson. So, it's all family at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's something that Vito did very well. And the part 2 is very purposeful in showing you how he did still cultivate that family attitude, because the second one's pretty damn depressing, and what Michael is left with at the end of it all. That's the whole saying. Not to spoil anything if you haven't seen that one, but that's the whole meaning, and this what this corruption does, and for him, what it does to his family as well. My themes and things here, guys. How about balding men? We've got all kinds of balding men in this thing. By the second one, Tom Hagen, they don't even try to tough him up in the front. It's just all gone in the second one. Aside from Al Pacino, but Sonny, James Caan, that thing's going. That wig's gone. Marlon Brando, that thing's gone. Peter Clemenza, that thing's going. I mean, shit, all these guys are bald as hell. Maybe it's all the
Tessio.
Yeah, I mean, they're all cooked.
You could wax Tessio's head, you'd see yourself in it. What about that asshole, the Tataglia? Tataglia, the main don of Tataglia's family.
Yeah.
He's combing back his hair. It's like he's literally just got a head on him. And then that asshole at the beginning of the movie, the funeral parlor guy.
I mean, Fredo looks like a fucking bird with the way his hair is looking and going.
Fredo
popped out at the side. He looks.
He looks awful. Yeah, horrible.
So a lot of
Mo Green.
I think he had a head of hair. I don't know. I can't even remember. There's so many damn bald men in this thing. But business, not personal, iconic, OG, loyalty and disloyalty, allegiance and deceit/betrayal,
Very
hard
good.
Business strategy. But my favorite thing, and the thing that I take away most, is just all the Italian influence on this thing. You get the wedding, the family, the music, the singing, the wine,
Tradition.
the gabagool, the cannolis,
Yeah.
Sicily. All those things are just at the heart of this thing. So very Italian. Really enjoy that bit of it. Guys, you know what time it is. The sirens blaring. Is The Godfather better with Nicolas Cage? Let's get it from Mike. The horse is
Thank
out.
you, Oz. Well,
The Podfather himself.
First of all, guys, what is Nicolas Cage's real name?
You said Coppola, right?
How about Coppola? So he's a Coppola right off the bat. So We know this guy is perfect for this movie. It's in his blood. It's in his being. Guys, take your pick. Is Nick Cage, could he be Vito Corleone?
Oh, yeah, he could. Yeah, he could.
Absolutely.
He's a balding man. He fits right on in. Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be the best role to see him in for sure.
I just
see him be the Godfather. We need a remake. He's getting around that age. Maybe it's time for a Godfather remake.
Just to see Nick Cage move slower in a movie would be phenomenal. I would love to see him talk slow, move slow, doesn't have to do anything for anyone because why? He's the Don. And I think Nick Cage would knock it out of the park.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And I mean, just the facial expressions, his eye contact. Oh my God. Awesome. I think he would be phenomenal in that role.
I think you'd believe it too. You would see him in
Austin, I do believe it. I mean, when I say these things, guys, I'm not saying I'm telling you, Nick Cage is Vito Corleone.
Yeah, it speaks to his greatness. That guy could do Marlon Brando's role.
I'm telling you, I say this every week, but in that left corner, we need Nick Cage right there looking at me going, yeah, Fletcher knows he's right. I mean, he would have to agree. He'd have to agree. And he would be going, hey, well, why didn't Uncle, why didn't the uncle put me in this one? No doubt. Griffin, what do you think, bud? Top that.
I don't think I can beat that. That was awesome. Because you think that role is so sacred as Marlon Brando that you're like, oh, God, who could fill that role? But who else but Nick Cage to fill that role? Maybe. I think that's fantastic. Kind of as a counter, I do think he could be a great Michael, too, because I think you could see him playing that beginning role where he is more gentle, totally genuinely himself. They're at the movies together. It's all sweet. They're at the wedding together. And, I think it'd be more of him like in The Family Man Dad, where he's just this kind of down-to-earth guy. And then you'd slowly see him just descend into the business, into that life. By the end of it, he's damn Castor Troy, taking the... That's our guy right there.
Boom!
Damn it, I was going to try to put his face over the Godfather in it, but it doesn't.
God, Austin, there he is. God, that's such a handsome man.
Nick Cage. Yeah, Nick Cage. I'd put him as Michael myself.
God, just put that in the left corner, Austin. That's where he needs to be anyway. Nick Cage, get your ass on this show.
Just leave him there. Oh, God, that's great.
That is, oh, my God, Austin. Well done.
Yeah, damn, I was going to try to put his Papa's face in right over there.
This cat does it all, man.
Yeah.
Gosh,
awesome.
Darn it, Austin, you're awesome.
My pick for it, I like him as Sonny, the hothead, right? He comes up, smashes the camera in the first scene, gets a little pissed with the guy.
Great.
Mad as hell, throws some dollars at the guy. Fuck you, man. He's walking around with the white beater on with some hairy ass shoulders and back,
Dude, I noticed those hairy shoulders too. Amy was like, I don't even see it. I was like, what the hell? That guy looks like a damn
guy like animal. Yeah, he was a monkey.
Remember, this is the 70s. This is the 70s.
Had hair everywhere but his head. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, I think he'd be a great Sonny, the hothead. And then when he gets hit, he'd really overact that scene too.
He's gone crazy.
Austin's right. That'd be he'd be so good as Sonny.
Yeah, you'd be great as Sonny. That's all I got. That's all I got for that, guys. But that's it. What a blast. What a good one. Mike, give us your goodbyes. Tell us a little bit about,
give it to us.
Wrap it up for us.
I most certainly will. Guys, let me say this. Again, to me, that's a 5-star movie. Again, it's, that is 1972. I mean, we're talking a movie well over 50 years old. And just, again, Austin, a couple nitpicks. I can't disagree.
I think it's a great movie. It's a really good movie. But you got to factor in your personal enjoyment. And I did really enjoy it, but I didn't. When I start getting into 4.5, 5 has to be nearly perfect for me. 4.5 is really means a lot to me as a great movie, and I personally am attached to it. 4 is just that's just solid itself.
Austin, did you give Wayne's World a 4 though?
I give it a 4.5. I love that movie.
You gave Wayne's World a 4.5, but The Godfather a 4.
That's the enjoyment level. You got to factor in that. It's not just a objective stance; it's a subjective stance, and that you got to factor in your personal enjoyment.
That's rough.
No, it's not. Come on. It's a totality of things. If we want to if we want to say Wayne's World from an objective stance, yeah, that's probably more near a 3.5. But a subjective stance and its meaning to me, 4.5. I fucking love that movie.
Austin, I don't know what was in your coffee this morning, but keep drinking it. Good for you, bud. Hey, we all have our opinions. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yours is wrong, but we all have our... Finish it, Anyway, guys, great movie. Loved it. I mean, again, shout out to Mr. Duvall. Guys, I think this is, to me, one of his greatest works. I mean, I just thought he was phenomenal in this. I wanted to say he was my favorite character, by the way, but Marlon Brando was just beyond belief. Again, Nick Cage could be that guy, no doubt in my mind. Guys, I do want to add this one little tidbit. The baby at the end, and you guys can correct me, Austin, you can look this up and call me out next week. The baby at the end, I think, I could be wrong, but I think that baby is it Sophia?
I'm pretty sure
Coppola. I think that she ends up being the director of the third or fourth one. I may be just way off here, and I may have just said in it, but I think she ends up being the director of one of the. I think it's the third one, by the way, but. Guys, I absolutely love this one. I appreciate you guys digging into this one. It is a long movie, but I think, again, you just learn so much of our culture, so much of the movies that you watch. You watch any gangster movie, they refer to this movie. It's what put Francis Ford Coppola on the map. After this, he became a legend. After this, I mean, again, Nick Cage might not be Nick Cage if it weren't for this movie, guys. Think about that one.
Maybe so.
Hey, Nick Cage would have been Nick Cage because he's Nick Cage, man. You know that. He'd have risen to the top. Cream always rises to the top.
That is a fact.
This is an awesome movie. I really enjoyed it. I love it for my dad, too. I know that these are kind of your bread and butter, mafia, men being men, and also the whole crime scene, action, suspense. I love it. I think it is really interesting, especially as a, kind of vestige of the American past, right? But I think also Purple Podcast, we are only on the rise, boys. We got new things going on all the time. You guys are seeing it happen, live. So appreciate you guys very much. Love you, boys. Purple Podcast all the way. We're kicking ass. So another great episode down.
Another one in the books. What we got up next now is our top 5 80s movies list. So as you guys, just to reiterate the rules here, we can repeat picks. It's going to be your top 5. There'll probably be a couple repeats, but they'll probably be in different orders, So it's going to be our top 5 picks, and this is where we'll get into another one of those stances, guys, subjective or subjective. You can't just be, let's say this, guys. The Godfather is an objectively better movie than Wayne's World. That's not even questionable, right? But where it comes in, you got to factor in your own personal feelings towards something.
Griffin, his ass is a little hurt right now.
I just don't think you guys got the point. I don't think you guys got the point is what I'm getting at here. So that's how it works. That was my stance, and that's where I'll stay. Love you guys. Purple Podcast. Love you all back home as well. Keep on rocking. Keep on doing your thing. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll be talking to you soon. And bye-bye.